I paid for her education for 5 years. Every semester, every textbook, every uniform. I watched her stress over exams, celebrated her grades, dreamed of her graduation. Then I found out there was no school. There never was, and I don't even know who she really is. I remember the exact moment I saw her. It was my 4th week in Manila, sitting in a small cafe in Makati, trying to convince myself that leaving Hobart was the right decision. My wife had been gone for 8 months. The house felt like a tomb. Every room reminded me of her. So I left. I told myself it was retirement, a fresh start. But really, I was running from grief. I was 65 years old and completely lost. Then Anna walked up to my table with a menu in her hand and this shy smile that made me feel something I hadn't felt in months. Human. "Good afternoon, sir. Can I take your order?" she asked. Her voice was soft, careful, like she was afraid of making a mistake. "Just coffee, thanks," I said. "Black." She wrote it down and turned to leave, but I noticed her eyes. They looked tired, heavy, the kind of tired that comes from more than just a long shift. "Long day?" I asked. She stopped and looked back at me. For a second, I thought she'd just smile politely and walk away. But she didn't. She stood there, holding the menu against her chest, and nodded. "Every day is long, sir," she said. Then she smiled again. But this time, it didn't reach her eyes. I don't know why I kept talking to her. Maybe because she reminded me of someone who needed help. Maybe because I needed to feel useful again. But I asked her to sit down when her shift ended. And she did. We sat in that cafe for 2 hours. She told me her name was Anna, 21 years old, from Antipolo, working 2 jobs to put herself through university. "I'm studying business administration," she said, her face lighting up a little. "It's my dream. I want to run my own company one day, help my family." "That's a good dream," I said. "But it's so hard, sir. The tuition, the books, everything is so expensive. My family can't help. My father is a tricycle driver. My mother sells vegetables at the market. They're trying, but—" She stopped, looked down at her hands. "I'm 1 semester away from dropping out." I felt something tighten in my chest. Here was this young woman, working herself to exhaustion, trying to build a future, and she was about to lose it because of money. It didn't seem fair. "How much do you need?" I asked. She looked up at me, confused. "Sir, for your next semester. How much?" I can't ask you for that, sir. I just met you." "You didn't ask," I said. "I'm offering." She stared at me, her eyes filled with tears. "Sir, it's 60,000 pesos. That's about 1,500 Australian dollars. I could never—" "I'll pay it," I said. Her hand went to her mouth. "Sir, why would you do that?" I thought about my wife, about how she used to volunteer at the community center back home, how she always said that helping someone change their life was the best thing you could do with money. I thought about how empty I felt, how purposeless. "Because you deserve a chance," I said, "and I can help, so let me," she cried. Right there in the cafe, she reached across the table and grabbed my hand. "You're like an angel, sir. I don't know how to thank you." "Just finish your degree," I said. "That's all the thanks I need." I gave her my number. She promised to send me the invoice from the university. 3 days later, she did. I transferred 1,200 Australian dollars to her account. She sent me a photo of her holding the receipt, tears streaming down her face. And for the first time since my wife died, I felt like I had a reason to wake up in the morning. I felt like I mattered. I didn't realize then that feeling would cost me everything. The first semester came and went. Anna would message me every few days, updates about her classes, photos of her in her uniform, blue skirt, white blouse, university ID hanging around her neck. She looked happy, proud. She'd send me pictures of her textbooks spread across a desk, highlighter marks on every page. She'd tell me about her professors, her classmates, how hard the exams were. I loved hearing from her. It made me feel connected to something real, something good. Then the second semester started, and she needed help again. "Gordon, She messaged me one evening. She'd started calling me by my first name, not sir anymore. I liked that. It felt less formal, more personal. I'm so sorry to bother you, but the new semester fees are due next week. I've been saving, but I'm still short. I don't know what to do. How much? I replied. 1,300 Australian dollars. I know it's a lot. I'll pay you back. I promise. When I graduate and get a good job, I'll... Stop, I typed. You don't owe me anything. Send me the invoice. She did. I paid it. She called me that night, crying so hard she could barely speak. Tito Gordon, she said. Uncle Gordon. That's what she started calling me. You're saving my life. I don't deserve you. You deserve every opportunity, I said. Just keep working hard. And she did. Or at least that's what I believed. Every month she'd send me photos. Her sitting in a classroom. Her with a group of students, all of them smiling at the camera. Her holding up a test paper with a high score circled in red. I felt proud, like I was watching someone I cared about succeed. I started thinking of her as family. Not romantic, not yet, but close. Important. Then she introduced me to Miguel. Tito Gordon, I want you to meet someone, she said during one of our video calls. She turned the camera, and there was a boy, maybe 16, thin, shy. This is my younger brother Miguel. Say hi, Miguel. Hello, sir, he said quietly. Anna told me about you. Thank you for helping her. Of course, I said. Your sister is very special. Anna turned the camera back to herself. Miguel is in high school, Tito. He's so smart. But we're having trouble with his fees, too. I've been trying to help him, but with my own expenses. I knew what was coming, and I didn't hesitate. How much does he need? Tito, I can't ask you to. Anna, how much? She bit her lip. 600 Australian dollars. For his supplies, uniform, and registration. Send me his school details, I said. I'll take care of it. She cried again. Miguel did too. They both thanked me over and over. I felt like I was making a real difference, like I was part of something bigger than myself. Anna sent me a handwritten note a week later. It arrived in the mail at my apartment in Manila. I'd moved there full-time by then. The note said, Tito Gordon, you are the father Miguel, and I never had. We are so blessed to have you in our lives. Thank you for believing in us. I kept that note on my desk. I looked at it every morning. I never questioned it. I never thought to verify any of it. I just believed, because I wanted to, because I needed to. Over the next 6 months, I paid for Anna's books, her project materials, Miguel's school supplies. It was never huge amounts, 800 here, 500 there, but it added up. And I didn't care. I had my pension. I had savings. What else was I going to spend it on? I was alone in a foreign country. They made me feel less alone. That was worth every dollar, or so I thought. A year into helping Anna, she asked me something that changed everything. We were on a video call. She looked nervous. She kept playing with her hair, something she did when she was anxious. Tito Gordon, can I ask you something? It's big, and if you say no, I understand. Go ahead, I said. I've been thinking about my future. After I graduate, there aren't many good jobs here in Manila, not the kind I want, but in Australia. She paused. I looked into transferring to a university in Sydney for my final year. It would give me so many more opportunities, better education, better connections. I could even get work experience there. That sounds like a great idea, I said, but I need a student visa. And the fees. Tito, I don't want to ask you for more. You've already done so much. I should have been more careful. I should have asked more questions. But all I could think about was how incredible it would be to have her close to me, in Australia. Maybe she could visit Hobart. Stay with me. I could show her around, introduce her to my friends. I could stop feeling so far away from home. How much is the visa? I asked. 2,500 Australian dollars. For the application, the documents, the processing. It's a lot. If you can't, I'll pay it, I said. Tito Gordon. Anna, I want to do this. You'll be closer to home. My home. We can see each other more. I can help you settle in. It's perfect. She smiled. That bright, beautiful smile that always made me feel warm. You're too good to me, Tito. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. You don't need to repay me. Just promise you'll let me take you to dinner when you get to Sydney. She laughed. I promise. I paid the visa fees. I helped her gather documents. I wrote her a sponsorship letter. I even paid for her to get professional photos taken for the application. Another $200. I didn't mind. I was excited. For the first time since my wife died, I was looking forward to something. Over the next few months, things shifted between us. She started messaging me more often. Good morning texts, good night texts. She'd tell me about her day in detail, what she ate, what she wore, who annoyed her. It felt intimate, personal. She stopped calling me Tito. Just Gordon now. Gordon, I can't stop thinking about Australia, she messaged me one night. About seeing you. I know it's for school, but I'm excited to spend time with you too. My heart did something stupid. It hoped. I'm excited too, I replied. Can I tell you something? She typed. Of course. I feel closer to you than anyone else in my life. You understand me. You care about me. Not because you have to, but because you want to. I stared at that message for a long time. I was 65. She was 22 now. I knew how it looked. I knew what people would think. But sitting alone in my apartment, reading her words, I let myself believe that maybe, just maybe, this was something real. Something more than charity. She sent me a photo a week later. She was wearing a yellow sundress, standing on a beach, smiling at the camera. The caption said, I can't wait to see you again, Gordon. I saved that photo. I looked at it every day. I started planning where I'd take her in Sydney, what restaurants we'd go to. I even looked at apartments near the university she claimed she'd be attending, just in case she needed help finding a place to stay. I was falling for her. I knew it, and I didn't stop myself. I should have, but I was lonely, and she made me feel alive. That was a dangerous combination. I just didn't know how dangerous yet. The cracks started small. Little things I noticed but convinced myself didn't matter. Anna's class schedule changed constantly. One week she'd tell me she had exams on Wednesday. The next week she'd be posting photos at a beach resort on Wednesday. When I asked her about it, she'd say the exam got moved, or that she needed a mental health break. Fair enough, I thought. University is stressful. Then there were the Facebook posts. I'd started following her online. She never posted much, but when she did, it didn't match what she told me. She'd message me saying she was in the library studying all day. Then I'd see a post from her at a mall with friends, shopping bags in hand, tagged 3 hours earlier. I didn't say anything at first. I didn't want to seem controlling. She was young. She deserved to have fun, but the inconsistencies kept piling up. Anna, how are your grades? I asked her during a video call. She smiled. Good, Gordon. Really good. Can I see them? Your transcript? I'd love to see how well you're doing. Her smile faltered, just for a second. Oh, the results aren't posted yet. The university is really slow with that stuff. When will they post them? I don't know. A few more weeks, maybe? Okay, just send them to me when you get them. I want to see proof that my investment is paying off. I laughed when I said it, trying to keep it light. She didn't laugh. Gordon, do you not trust me? What? No, because it feels like you don't trust me. I send you photos. I tell you about my classes. I show you everything. And now you want proof, like I'm lying to you? Her voice cracked. She started crying. I felt like a monster. Anna, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I trust you. Of course I trust you. Then why do you need to see my grades? Don't you believe me when I tell you I'm doing well? I do. I'm sorry. Forget I asked. She wiped her eyes. I work so hard, Gordon. Every day. I'm doing this for my future, for my family, and you're the only person who's ever helped me. I don't want you to think I'm taking advantage of you. I don't think that, I said quickly. I'm proud of you, really. She smiled again, weakly. Thank you. I'm sorry I got emotional. I'm just stressed. Don't apologize. I shouldn't have pushed. We moved on. But the conversation stuck with me. I felt guilty for days. I sent her 1,500 Australian dollars a week later for her final semester fees. She didn't ask. I just offered. Because I wanted to show her I trusted her. I wanted to make up for doubting her. But deep down, a part of me was starting to wonder. My friend in Hobart called me around that time. His name is Jim. We used to work together before I retired. "Mate, how's Manila treating you?" he asked. "Good. Quiet. Peaceful. You still helping that girl? The university student?" "Yeah, Anna. She's doing great." "You sure about that?" I felt my jaw tighten. "What do you mean?" "Nothing, mate. Just be careful. These stories don't always end well. Young girl, older foreign guy, lots of money changing hands. Just make sure you're not being played." "I'm not being played, Jim." "All right, just looking out for you." I hung up angry. But his words stayed with me. I started watching Anna's social media more closely. I started noticing more. The designer bags in her photos, the new phone, the trips to expensive restaurants. I never asked her where the money came from. I didn't want to know, because if I asked, I'd have to face the possibility that Jim was right, that I was being used, and I wasn't ready for that. Not yet. So I kept sending money, kept believing her, kept pretending everything was fine, because the alternative was too painful to accept. 5 years. It took me 5 years to wake up, 5 years of payments, 5 years of invoices and expenses and promises. I'd paid for 10 semesters of tuition, dozens of textbooks, uniforms, project materials, laptop repairs, internet fees, printing costs, exam fees, graduation requirements, thesis binding. She always had something, and I always paid. I sat down one night and went through my bank records. I added it up. 45,000 Australian dollars. That's how much I'd spent on Anna's education, on Miguel's education, on their future. And Anna still hadn't graduated. "Anna, when is your graduation?" I asked her during one of our calls. "Soon, Gordon. I'm almost done." "You said that 6 months ago." "I know, but I had to retake one of my classes. It pushed everything back." "Which class?" "Accounting. It was really hard. I failed by 2 points." "Okay, so when will you finish?" "Next semester, for sure." But next semester came and went. Still no graduation. I asked her again. She said the university delayed the ceremony. She said there was a problem with her thesis. She said the professor was being difficult. Always an excuse. Always a delay. I started feeling something I hadn't felt before. Doubt. Real doubt. Not the kind I could push away. Not the kind I could rationalize. The kind that kept me awake at night. The kind that made me feel sick. "Anna, I need to see your graduation details," I said one evening. My voice was firm. I'd practiced this conversation in my head for days. "Gordon, why are you being like this? I've been supporting you for 5 years. I just want to know when you're going to finish. You're making me feel like a burden." "I'm not. I just need some clarity." She hung up on me. She didn't message me for 3 days. When she finally did, it was short, cold. "I'll send you the details when I have them. I need space right now." I gave her space, but I didn't wait for her. I searched online for the university she claimed to attend. I found their registrar's office phone number. My hands were shaking when I dialed. "Hello, University of Santo Tomas. How can I help you?" A woman's voice answered. "Hi, I'm calling from Australia. I'm sponsoring a student, and I need to verify her enrollment." "Sure, I can help with that. What's the student's name?" "Anna Reyes. She's in the business administration program." I heard typing, then silence, then more typing. "Sir, can you spell the last name for me?" "Reyes." More typing, longer silence. "Sir, I don't see any student by that name in our system." My chest tightened. "Can you check again? She's been enrolled for 5 years." "I'm checking our full database, sir. Past and present students. There's no Anna Reyes in business administration. There's no Anna Reyes enrolled at all. I couldn't breathe. Are you sure? Yes, sir, I'm sure. Thank you, I managed to say. Then I hung up. I sat in my apartment for hours, staring at nothing. The invoices she'd sent me were stacked on my desk. The photos she'd sent me were saved on my phone. Her in the uniform, her in the classroom, her holding textbooks. All of it was fake. All of it. 5 years, $45,000. And there was no school. There never was. I felt like I was drowning. Like the floor had disappeared beneath me. I'd been so stupid, so blind, so desperate to believe that I mattered to someone that I'd ignored every red flag, every inconsistency, every lie. And now I had to face the truth. Anna had played me from the very beginning, and I'd let her. It took me 2 days to call her, 2 days of sitting with the rage and the shame and the heartbreak. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. But mostly, I just wanted to understand. Why? Why did she do it? Why did she lie to me for 5 years? Why did she make me believe she cared? My hands were shaking when I pressed her name on my phone. It rang 4 times. Then she answered. Gordon, hi. Her voice was bright, cheerful, like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't just stolen 5 years of my life. Anna, are you really in school? I asked. My voice was flat, cold. I didn't have the energy to be angry yet. I was too numb. Silence. Then, what? I called the university. They have no record of you, so I'm asking you directly. Are you really in school? The silence stretched. I could hear her breathing. I could almost hear her thinking, deciding how to play this. Then she laughed. Not nervously, not apologetically. She laughed, like I'd told a joke. Gordon, you're so serious. Why are you doing this? Answer the question. Why does it matter? You wanted to help me, and you did. I'm grateful. That's not an answer. Fine. No, I'm not in school. I never was. The words hit me like a punch to the chest, even though I already knew. Hearing her say it out loud made it real, made it unbearable. Where did the money go? I asked. Rent, food, my family, life. Gordon, you gave me that money. I didn't force you. I gave it to you because you said you were in school. You lied to me. I told you what you wanted to hear. You wanted to be a hero. I let you feel like one. We both got something out of it. I thought you cared about me. I do care about you. You helped me. I'm grateful. But I never promised you anything, Gordon. You knew what this was. What this was. What the hell does that mean? You're a lonely old man who wanted to feel important. I needed money. It worked. Don't act like you didn't get something out of it too. I felt something break inside me. Not anger. Worse. Clarity. She was right. I did want to feel important. I did want to be needed. I wanted to believe I was helping someone. I wanted to believe I mattered, and she used that. She saw exactly what I needed and she gave it to me, for a price. What about Miguel? I asked. My voice cracked. What about him? His school fees? I paid for his education too. She paused. Then, Gordon, is he even your brother? He's my cousin. Did he need money for school? No. I closed my eyes. So that was fake too. I needed more money. You were happy to help. I didn't think you'd care. You didn't think I'd care? I thought I was helping a kid get an education. I thought I was changing his life. You were helping him. He used that money for his family. His mom was sick. He needed it. I didn't tell you the truth, because you wouldn't have given it if I'd asked directly. You're right. I wouldn't have, because you lied to me. I did what I had to do. You live in a nice country with a nice pension. I live here, in the real world, where people like me do what we have to do to survive. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I'm not sorry for surviving. I didn't know what to say. She wasn't sorry. She didn't regret it. She didn't feel bad. To her, I was just a transaction, a source of income, a lonely old man who was easy to manipulate, and maybe that's exactly what I was. Did you ever care about me? I asked. I hated how pathetic I sounded, but I needed to know. I cared about what you did for me. That's all I could afford to care about. I see. Gordon, don't be dramatic. You'll be fine. You have money. You have a home. You'll move on. This isn't the end of the world. For you, maybe. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Goodbye, Anna. Gordon, wait. I hung up. She didn't call back. She didn't message. She just disappeared. Like I never mattered at all. And maybe I didn't. Maybe I never did. I sat in the dark for hours, staring at my phone, waiting for something, an apology, an explanation, anything, but nothing came. And I realized that was the worst part. She didn't care enough to even pretend she was sorry. I was just another customer, another transaction, another stupid old man who fell for a pretty smile and a sad story. And now I had to live with that. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Miguel's face. That shy, polite kid who called me sir and thanked me for helping him. I'd paid for his school fees, his supplies, his uniform. I'd watched him grow up through photos. Anna would send me pictures of him studying, of him in his school uniform, of him holding up a test with a good grade. I'd felt proud of him, like he was my own nephew, like I was part of his success. But if Anna lied about everything else, did she lie about him too? I had to know. I opened Facebook and searched for his name, Miguel Reyes. Antipolo. Nothing. I tried different spellings, different variations, nothing. No profile, no photos, no trace of him anywhere. I felt sick. I messaged a friend I'd made in Manila. Her name was Rosa. She was Filipino. She'd helped me navigate the city when I first arrived. She knew how to find people. Rosa, can you help me with something? I messaged her. Of course, Gordon. What do you need? I need to find someone. A boy named Miguel Reyes, from Antipolo, around 16 or 17 years old, related to a girl named Anna Reyes. Okay, give me a day or two. I'll see what I can find. 2 days later, she called me. Gordon, I have news, but you're not going to like it. Tell me, I found Anna's family, her real family. She has 2 younger sisters, no brothers, no male cousins named Miguel in Antipolo. Are you sure? I'm sure. I spoke to a neighbor, showed them the photos you sent me. They recognized Anna, but they've never seen that boy before. I felt the room spin. So who is he? I don't know. Maybe a friend's kid. Maybe someone she paid to pose for photos. I'm sorry, Gordon. It's okay. Thank you for checking. Gordon, are you all right? No, but I will be. I hung up. I pulled up all the photos Anna had sent me of Miguel. I zoomed in on his face, tried to find clues, anything that would tell me who he really was. But there was nothing. Just a boy. A stranger. Someone Anna had used as a prop to get more money out of me. I calculated how much I'd sent for Miguel over the years. 8,000 Australian dollars. For school fees that didn't exist. For a boy who wasn't even related to her. I'd been played twice, used twice, and I'd never even questioned it, because I wanted to believe I was making a difference. I wanted to believe I was helping. I wanted to believe I mattered, but I didn't matter. Not to Anna, not to Miguel, whoever he was. I was just a wallet, a source of income. A stupid, lonely old man who was too desperate for connection to see the truth. I sat on the floor of my apartment and I cried. Not because of the money. I'd lost money before. But because of what it represented. 5 years of my life. 5 years of believing I was part of something good. 5 years of thinking someone cared about me. All of it was a lie. All of it was fake. And I'd never get those years back. I'd never get that hope back. It was gone. She'd taken it, and she didn't even care. I left Manila 3 months later. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't say goodbye. I just packed my things, canceled my lease, and booked a flight back to Hobart. I couldn't stay there anymore. Every street reminded me of Anna. Every cafe, every corner. I'd see young women and wonder if they were scamming someone too. If they were telling lies to lonely old men who just wanted to feel important. I couldn't do it anymore. I needed to go home. The flight was long. I sat in my seat and stared out the window, watching Manila disappear beneath the clouds. I thought about the first day I arrived. How hopeful I'd been. How ready I was to start over. How stupid I'd been. When I landed in Hobart, the cold air hit me like a slap. I'd forgotten how cold it got here, how gray, how empty. I took a taxi to my old house, the one I'd left when my wife died. It looked the same, smaller maybe, lonelier. I unlocked the door and stepped inside. The air smelled stale, like no one had lived here in years. I walked through the rooms, the kitchen where my wife used to cook, the living room where we'd watch TV together, the bedroom where she took her last breath. It all felt like a museum, a place frozen in time. I was a ghost walking through my own past. I unpacked slowly, put my clothes in the closet, set up my laptop on the desk, made myself a cup of tea. Then I sat down and opened my laptop. I went through the photos Anna had sent me over the years. Her in the classroom, her in the uniform, her holding textbooks, her with Miguel. All of it fake. All of it staged. I didn't delete them. I couldn't. They were proof. Proof that I'd been fooled. Proof that I'd given 5 years of my life to someone who didn't care. Proof that I'd lost 53,000 Australian dollars chasing a lie. 53,000. That's what it cost me. The tuition fees, the books, the visa application, Miguel's school supplies, all of it added up. I could have bought a new car, could have renovated my house, could have traveled the world, but instead I gave it to Anna because I believed her, because I trusted her, because I was lonely and desperate and stupid. But the money wasn't the worst part. The worst part was knowing I gave her my trust, my hope, my heart, and she saw it as nothing but opportunity. She didn't care about me. She never did. I was just a means to an end, a transaction, a stupid old man who believed a pretty girl could actually care about him. And maybe that's the truth I can't accept, that I wasn't special. I wasn't different. I was just another mark, another victim, another lonely foreigner who got scammed because he wanted to believe he mattered. I think about her sometimes, Anna. I wonder if she thinks about me, if she feels guilty, if she regrets what she did. But I know the answer. She doesn't. She's moved on, found another lonely man to lie to, another sad story to tell, another $50,000 to take, and she'll do it without hesitation, because that's who she is. That's who she's always been. I just didn't want to see it. I don't hate her. I wish I did. Hate would be easier, but I can't hate her. I just don't understand her. How could she do it? How could she lie to me for 5 years? How could she take my money and my trust and my hope and not feel anything? How could she look at me and see nothing but a wallet? Maybe I'll never understand. Maybe that's not the point. Maybe the point is that I need to accept it. Accept that I was used. Accept that I was fooled. Accept that the last 5 years of my life were built on a lie, and move on. But moving on is harder than it sounds, because every time I look in the mirror, I see the man I used to be, the man who believed he could help someone, the man who thought he mattered. That man is gone now, and I don't know who I am without him. I look at the photos Anna sent me, her smiling face, her kind eyes, her lies, and I realize something. I wasn't helping her. I was trying to save myself. I was trying to fill the void my wife left. I was trying to feel needed again, important again, alive again, and Anna gave me that, for a price. She let me believe I was her hero, her savior, her father figure, and I paid her for that illusion. $53,000, 5 years of my life. And all I got was a lesson I should have learned a long time ago. Some people see kindness as weakness. Some people see generosity as opportunity. And some people will take everything you give them and never look back. Anna was one of those people. And I was too blind to see it, too lonely, too desperate, too broken. I close my laptop, finish my tea, look around my empty house, and I realize something else. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I lost money. I lost time. I lost hope. But I'm still here. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that has to be enough. Because I can't change the past. I can't get my money back. I can't undo the last 5 years. All I can do is accept it, learn from it, and try to be smarter next time. If there is a next time. I don't know if I'll ever trust someone again. I don't know if I'll ever open my heart again. I don't know if I'll ever believe someone when they say they need help, because the last time I did, it cost me everything. But maybe that's okay. Maybe being alone is safer. Maybe keeping my distance is smarter. Maybe protecting myself is the only thing that matters now. I thought I was saving her, but I was just trying to save myself. And in the end, I couldn't save either of us. That's the truth I have to live with. That's the truth that keeps me awake at night. That's the truth that will follow me for the rest of my life. I gave Anna everything, and she gave me nothing. Nothing but lies, nothing but pain, nothing but regret, and now I'm here, back where I started, alone in my house, alone with my memories. Alone with the ghost of the man I used to be, the man who believed in second chances, the man who believed in helping people, the man who believed he mattered. That man is gone, and I don't know if he's ever coming back.